everyone, and welcome back to Bias Bites. I'm Morgan.
I'm Tracy.
And I'm Megan.
And you're tuned into our 10th episode. Today we're catching up, talking through some new releases, and getting into the latest K-pop updates. And of course, we'll wrap up with a little rapid fire. So let's get into it. Today we're going to start like we always do with some catching up. So Tracy, what's been going on with you?
This week, time has absolutely flown for me. I feel like we clocked into work on Monday. We just came back from being off for about a week and change. And then I blinked, clocked out, and we were headed to New York to go to see the TXT VR concert for Heart Attack. So I just feel like I've disassociated this week. Otherwise, I caught up on Pit Babe. I finished the series, and then we were catching up on Produce 101. That's about it. What about you?
Well, I didn't know you finished Pit Babe. What is your rating?
10 out of 10. It needs a 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th follow-up season. It ended on a really good note. They ended up, not going to spoil it for anyone, you should just watch it. It was great.
What did you watch it on?
IQIUI?
The same as
IQI? Yeah.
As Secret Relationships.
Juntio's breakout drama.
Yeah, if our listeners don't know, Junso from Alpha Drive 1 was in a BL prior to debut. That is, I love it. It's so crazy, but it's definitely worth the watch. And it's on whatever that one is.
IQIYI.
There you go. Yeah, we saw TXT's Heartbreak today, which was also 10 out of 10.
I still can't get over how in your face and close than Bumgyu trying to take out our eyes.
He did.
Ridiculous. They did 2 songs and that was it.
Imagine.
I would have had a heart attack.
Literally.
Literally. My heart would have been broken and attacked.
It was definitely fun, though.
Yeah, I feel like our hearts did get attacked with cuteness.
That's what a VR show does for you, since they're so in your face.
It was a quick week for me too, actually. It was like super busy, which made it go by really fast. I feel like I've just been trying to keep up with all the releases that have come out because April has already had so many things that I was like anticipating for a long time, but I've been really busy, so I've been having a hard time keeping up with K-pop content. I've been doing good at music videos because they're so short. I can like sneak them into my day a little bit better. I still haven't watched the BTS Hot Ones episode.
I have not watched the full episode. I've just seen clips of it as well.
Yeah, I haven't been able to set aside like 20 minutes to that yet, so I hope to. But I feel like I've caught up on all the music videos I was trying to watch. Now I need to get through the recent episode of Produce 101, which I'm hoping to do tomorrow. Fingers are crossed. Otherwise, it got really warm here in New Jersey, so I put together a spring playlist. That was a fun thing to do. I feel like it's really made it feel more like spring. I tried to put on all like light, airy, fluffy spring love songs. So that was fun. But that's really all I've been up to lately. So
share it with us. We want to know.
Yeah, maybe I'll put a link in the description if anyone else needs like a spring playlist.
A dopamine boost spring
Yeah,
playlist.
that's really what it is. I would say it is like maybe not quite half, but it definitely has like a higher percentage of girl groups than my typical playlist. So
I could see that. There's something just so refreshing about a lot of the girl group songs that I can see it fitting into a spring playlist. Just upbeat, happy vibes.
Definitely like dreamy, high vocals. Feel very spring. But Megan, what have you been up to lately?
Well, do you hear that, guys? Do you hear that? It's the sound of my wallet crying. Because JYPE just dropped the merch for the Skizoo everywhere all around the world. And, I'm in trouble, because not only is, fingers crossed, it going to be coming to New York soon, so I can hopefully snag myself a spot as a fan club member and get in and add to my chicken nugget army, but they're also opening it up on fans for you to order online, so I might be sacrificing some sleep at the end of April when early access on fans happens, and I might be buying multiple chicken nuggets.
That's the one where you have to have already bought a membership previously, right? You couldn't just sign up on one.
Yeah, that's the great thing about being a 6th gen member of fans for Stray Kids, is that you get early access to the merch drops, which also means that it'll ship to you a lot faster. So for the fan meet merch, it like opened up in March and then shipped like in April. So we didn't have to wait long at all for the fan meet merch. And now with the Skizoo Everywhere All Around the World merch, oh boy, I'm in trouble. So many chicken nuggets, which is Bokari for people that don't know the funny joke about Bokari being a chicken nugget, because Felix is my old bias, so I need an army of chicken nuggets to support him. But aside from that, I've fallen back down the K-pop reactor rabbit hole. They come up on my YouTube from time to time, and I just love watching people find Stray Kids or ATs for the first time and just being blown away by either the music videos or Felix's voice or Mingy's insane rapping abilities. So that's been a bit of a dopamine hit for me lately, just watching people discover K-pop for the first time through some of my favorite groups.
I feel like that would be fun to do one time. Try to find something that like the other people haven't seen. I don't know, one night when we're hanging out or something like that, and try to do a reaction.
My stipulation, no JYP.
You mean you haven't watched all of JYP's stages on YouTube yet, Megan?
He's my alt bias. You have to.
No, he's my sleep paralysis demon. I don't want to watch his music videos. He will haunt me in my sleep some more.
I stand by the fact that the JYP and Hypen stage is like one of my all-time favorite K-pop moments. Watching Jay slay and then hearing JY Poppy is like never getting out of my brain.
It's so good. Can't look away.
All I can do is look away.
No.
But he has such insane stage presence.
So insane that it scares me.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's what I've been up to. Pleading with my wallet to not run away because I have a ton of money to spend on chicken nuggets and maybe some other Skizoos. It might not be all Bokari. I might throw like a Leebit in there, or maybe I'll get my husband a Dwecky.
I think that's the move.
I think you should get a second apartment to fill with the Bakari.
I just need a house and the whole basement will just be like the chicken nugget layer.
I love having a K-pop room. My like guest room office is my K-pop room, and it keeps it like nicely tucked away so my husband doesn't have to see all my albums.
If you lock your husband in the basement, you can use all the upstairs rooms for Bakari.
I think you should put a whole like china cabinet in your house devoted to Bokari. Not Felix, just Bokari.
Not Felix. To the chicken
Not
nugget, the
Felix.
shrine to my chicken nuggets
I love
as they take over the world. You guys posted on what I end up scoring for early access and all the sleep I sacrifice on a work night just to try to score the like squishmallow looking Skizoos that they're launching.
That'll be fun.
Petitioning
Always do an
formally to have
unboxing.
a JYP one created.
Oh,
I'd get all of them. I'm gonna have
my
one
God.
custom made and sent specifically to Megan.
I'll pass. Thank you.
Sounds like a threat.
It
It has a pull string and a voice box too.
God.
with
gosh.
plastic pink pants.
Well, I think Tracy's next project is going to be to make a talking Skizoo of JYP and having him say something really inspiring.
Very inspiring. My brain goes straight to his sermon. Let's go.
Yeah, I was going to say it's like inspirational speech. Okay, so unfortunately we can't talk about JYP for this whole episode.
Rude.
Thank God.
Before we jump into new releases for today, we did just want to take a quick minute to update you guys about the podcast. We've been doing a lot of thinking about the show. This is our 10th episode, and we've definitely learned a lot each episode, and we've been thinking about how we want the show to feel moving forward, so we're going to be making some changes to our show format and our release schedule. So we'll still have a bi-weekly episode coming out in May, and then after that we're going to be shifting to a monthly release just to make sure that we can stay consistent and really put in the time that it takes to make the episodes what we want. So we want to make sure that everything we're putting out feels really intentional.
As of our next episode, Bias Bites episode 11, we'll be making some changes in addition to the new scheduling. We're going for a more casual conversational vibe as opposed to our regular update-centric content.
We want the show to feel more like catching up with your K-pop besties. And as always, we welcome you to be part of the conversation.
Exactly. As always, we're always open to your feedback, so definitely let us know what you think, either in a DM on social media or you can leave us a comment wherever you're listening to the show.
I guess we're gonna get into new releases for the last time.
For the last time in this format. Okay.
We'll be plugging them along with our regular updates.
So today I decided to limit the number of releases. So we're going to go over the top 10 releases from the past couple of weeks in honor of this being our 10th episode. April has already had so many releases come out, but I just wanted to go over what's like really been on our radar.
But don't worry, if we don't mention something you've been looking forward to, instead we'll be posting a list of all the new releases on Instagram and TikTok sometime within the next few days.
I pulled releases from our last episode on 4/3 until today, which is April 17th. So the first one on my list was on April 6th, put out their EP, My First Kick, and they had a music video for this too. The title track for My First Kick was Eye Poppin'. I know I watched the video. Megan, did you watch the kickflip video or did you listen to the EP?
I listened to the EP and I am obsessed with it. 20 is going on like every K-pop playlist that I have. That song grabbed me by the throat and just refuses to let go. It's so good.
I do really like the whole EP. I think the title track too is really fun, and the music video for it's really fun.
I will definitely watch it tonight, but I adore Kickflip. They're so cute. I want to adopt them all and put them in my pocket.
I feel like they keep putting out like pop punk-esque vibe releases, which I really like. It's different. It sets them apart a little bit.
Yeah, for real. And pop punk is my niche. It's what I love to listen to outside of K-pop, so I think that's why like Kickflip really calls to me.
The day after the kickflip release, Young Posse put out a single on April 7th called We Don't Go to Bed Tonight.
I was very excited for this, and then it didn't land with me the way I thought it was going to. It's not bad. I don't want to say it's bad. It's just not my preference. It was a little too almost electronic-y, techno-y, but not in the right way for me. It's just not my preferred style.
The chorus for this keeps getting stuck in my head. I've watched the music video a couple times now. It grows on me every time, and I keep getting the main line stuck in my head. But it definitely is not like XXL Young Posse. It is a different sound, but I thought it was fun. This is the week of release after release after release after release. On April 8th, there was actually a debut. Heartswave put out their first EP. They're a K-rock band that was formed on the Steel Hearts Club show. They're so fun. I did watch the show, and a couple of the people that I was voting for made the lineup. And I just think this album, it's a pretty like normally lengthed EP, but it gets better as you listen to it. Like each track gets better and better. They did a music video for the title track, which was 19, which is just like a super catchy and upbeat single. But the last two tracks on this album are my favorite. The first being Out of My Mind. I don't know who the second vocal, like who the sub vocal on this song is, but the way that the vocals go together is really fun. And then Close to Me is the last song on this album, and it makes it so when you're listening to the album in full, like I hate when the last song is the best song because then you're sad that the EP is over. You just want to like listen back to it. So I was really happy with this first release from Heartswave. You never know with a debut how you're going to like the music, especially K-Rock, because the only thing we've heard from them otherwise are covers.
Covers are always good. Yeah.
But it's good to see their original work be good. So I hope they continue to develop more of like an energetic and emotive sound like the last two tracks on the album. The rest of it is good. It's fine. It's just a little bit more like easy listening rock, where the last couple songs are more like heavy hitting.
Would you relate it to any specific artist or?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. I think the last two songs, and we'll talk about the Extraordinary Heroes release later because that also came out this month. But the last two songs on this album, the first wave, definitely are giving more like Extraordinary Heroes vibes.
Okay.
So It's a good listen. If you like K-rock, I think they're going to be a cool group to watch out for. That same day, on April 8th, Ampersand 1 came out with their EP Definition. The title track for this was God, and I watched the music video. I have mixed feelings on the song. It's growing on me, but the music video is really good. I like Ampersand 1. Neither of you listen to this, right?
I always get them confused with Team, and it like doesn't stick.
Well, that's funny because the next release that came out was the Anteam random pre-release. I'm definitely a Lune and I love Anteam, and no one knew that the whole album was being released on the 12th. So
That
it
was
was
a
a
shock. That
surprise.
definitely, because what it was supposed to be the
Surprise!
2020th.
Yeah, so this EP already had a pre-release that we talked about on the last episode, that super springy song, the Sakura Iroyel. And then I had seen online people talking about how they were going to do a pre-release, and I assumed they were doing a pre-release of the title track, and then the rest of the album would come out on the 21st. But what they ended up doing is that the whole digital release came out on the 12th, and then the physical albums are coming out on the 21st. So that was a fun surprise.
The video was fun. I liked the giant mecha wolf. That was
Yeah, I
cool.
love the Anteam lore. I love the Team Jacob of it all. So I love that they played into it. There's one part in the video where Maki literally jumps like a wolf. It's so funny.
The outfits were crazy too. I had to like go back and rewatch it a few times. I was like, what is happening?
The
The whole like gunslinger.
concept,
Yeah.
wild. And then I really like how the music video has the part where they're like sketch
I loved that.
animated versions.
I thought that was really, really neat.
That was cool. As far as the other songs on the album, though, Bewitched is definitely my song of the year. I'm obsessed with Bewitched. Hotline is also a super fun song, and I'm like manifesting a Bewitched music video and hopefully a KCON performance because I will explode probably. But there's a Korean version on the EP for both We on Fire and Bewitched, so I'm really, really hoping that they end up doing a second music video for this EP. On one of the biggest days this month, on April 13th, there were 3 releases that came out. The first one was Plave. They came out with Caligo Part 2, and their title track was Born Savage.
Which is crazy because they weren't born. They were created.
They're real people. If you don't know Plave, they are a VTuber style, like tracked animated group that's done by real people.
They're like owls.
Yeah, it's like I saw that Plave just did concerts and people had good things to say about it.
How does that work out though? I'm so curious.
It's more just like a group live stream, I feel like.
Okay.
Of a live, like, because it's a live performance, they're actually singing and dancing, but you're seeing the avatar versions of them. I'll be so honest, this was my first real listen to Plave besides just like clips I've seen on social media. I actually think they're really talented artists. Their sound is just not for me. I told Tracy this album starts off with an a cappella song, and I went immediately, no, absolutely not.
I love acapella.
But if you like a cappella, maybe
I do.
you'll love it. I can't do it. It was like Pentatonics, Christmas.
I don't
So
like the Pentatonics Christmas, but I like their covers.
I get that. I did watch Born Savage, and I think the music video is cool. It's interesting.
The whole concept of what they are is interesting. It's just it's different. We really truly live in the future. It's so weird.
It is funny though because I love OS now. I like have been watching their content. I've been keeping up with them on Weverse. I'm like obsessed. I think I'm just such a lore person that I love the OS lore of them being from the future, because they're from like 2626 or whatever, and they're just like visiting us in a dream. Like I can get in with that lore. Plave might have a similar story that I just don't know.
Definitely worth
Exactly.
looking into. I'm curious.
The second release for April 13th was Tomorrow by Together's seventh year, A Moment of Stillness in the Thorn. The title track for this was Stick With You. I think we all watched this music video, right?
I watched their showcase too for it. They did 2 in a row.
I like the album. I like the whole album. I think Stick With You is really fun. I finally got a chance to watch the music video yesterday and I had to text Tracy immediately. I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. I
2
love a
Subins?
TXT music
Always.
video when you're just like, what is happening? Like, what? Why is everything so bad?
I was confused when the girl, like, she got up and walked out of the house, and I was like, what? And Subin was like, I'm going to find her. And it was just like a whole weird, I don't know,
I need Subin cast in a K-drama immediately after that music video.
so good.
I love the just like what the heck of it all. Like they're all one person, but there's so many of them and poor Hinenkai.
The EP is totally like no skip for me. Every song hit on like a different level for me. It was like an out-of-body experience just listening to the whole thing, and they released yet another banger. There's not a skippable song on the EP.
I didn't feel the same way. I love them. Some of it wasn't for me. First Century Romance, I didn't love.
Which is my favorite song on the album. So I think that's so funny.
No, I did like Stick With You. It reminded me of Neverland.
Farewell Neverland.
Farewell Neverland, yeah. It was, I think, kind of like the same or similar kind of vocals. And so that I just kept thinking of that. And now every time I hear it, that's just my brain wants to sing that instead. And it's like weird. Otherwise, it was great. The album was great. Just a couple of songs for me weren't my favorites. And that's okay. Not every album from every of your favorite artists is going to be your favorite thing.
I feel like K-pop hasn't been hitting for you the same way.
Not all of it. I think I'm leaning more into like the rock side of it. Like I definitely enjoyed Extraordinary Heroes album, I think a bit more than the TXT release.
You should definitely check out the Hearts Wave EP then.
But I think I do want to go back and watch the show before I really dive into them. I might be more, what's the word I'm looking for? It might pull me into it more.
I get that. Like you get a little bit more backstory. I will say it's not like a idol survival show. Steel Hearts Club is much more just like performance based.
I like that though. I like that they have actual instruments and things, and
it is like interesting because they also go in like with their intended instrument. You know what I mean? Like Hagiwa went in to be a drummer and ended up winning for the drummers. All of the drummers compete against each other. All of the guitarists compete against each other.
I would love to see a survival show or reality show where they go in with their intended instruments, but they mix it up and make them learn something new.
That would be funny.
That would be cool.
The other release that came out on the 13th was the Modesty debut, but I will be talking a little bit more about that later. On April 15th, If I Put Out As If. The title track from this was Hazy Daisy.
I love that. It's like a fun.
I really like this EP actually. This is one that could definitely get put on a spring playlist. And I actually do think I added a couple songs onto my spring playlist. The song Param Param is super fun and was my favorite song from the EP. It is just like cute and upbeat. And then the same day on April 15th, one that Tracy had been looking forward to especially, artist All In. It was a debut, a single called We Up.
I'm actually going to be talking a bit more about him later, but did you guys get a chance? I think I spammed you all with like the video and then his 2 performances, and I was like so excited. And I was not disappointed in any capacity. It was actually better than I expected.
I listened to it. I do like the idea of mixing strings like classical music and K-pop. I am interested to see how he keeps the combination like fun and fresh and different like in upcoming releases.
I figured there's another artist. I don't know if you guys have heard of Clejan. It's CLEJAN. He's a rapper. He's not K-pop. He's like a Western artist like here in America who also does like violin, but he's collabed with like other artists, and that's kind of how he keeps it going and like keeps new content. But he's really talented. I think All In is even more so. just because, not just for the K-pop aspect, what he did was so intricate and so mind-boggling. Like, my hands could never move that fast. I played violin as a kid, and I was just like, I wish I'd stuck with it because I was so blown away.
As someone who like is a classical musician, I do always love seeing classical collabs with like other genres. I just am always like, what is the split? You know what I mean? Megan, did you listen to this song?
Haven't, not yet at least.
Well, I'm curious to see because I know you like other types of music, like you listen to more genres than just K-pop. So I'm like curious to hear what you think about it.
If you
Yeah,
like Lindsey
definitely.
Sterling, I think you definitely should give him a chance. It's just one song. It's a single. He's a soloist, so
I do adore Lindsey Sterling, so I'm sure I'll probably like it. I'll definitely give it a listen later on tonight.
so good.
The 10th release on our list today is Extraordinary Heroes. They put out their EP Dead End. I know we had talked about their pre-release on our last episode, but the title track for this was Voyager, and they dropped the music video and the rest of the album.
It was good.
Everyone listened to it, right? Yeah.
I
Everyone
listened to
loved
it.
this EP.
I watched their showcase live on YouTube. I was not disappointed either. It was really good. Voyager's actually, it's been stuck in my head, and it kind of gives me like 70s prog rock vibes starting off, kind of like Journey or like Styx, but I really enjoyed this.
I've been sleeping on Extraordinary Heroes, like for real, for real. I've been sleeping on them because this album just like blew me away. The way it opened in the first like 2 or 3 songs with just the out of this world vocals that they have. I'm like addicted to them now. It's like the little 16-year-old emo that still lives in my heart is like, this is the kind of music we've been waiting for.
Did everyone have a favorite track on the EP?
I did. Hold on. What's the name of it? Helium Balloon.
Is
That
that
one
the
was
first
good.
track?
It's the
That
first
is.
track, and the vocals just in that song smacked me in the face, and I was like, oh yeah, like this is good. This is gonna be a good album.
If you get the chance to go back and watch their YouTube from this morning, you definitely should, because they didn't only do songs from this album. They did some of their older ones, which were really great, but they just have like a really great stage presence, and like their live everything is just so good. I really like No Cool Kid Zone. There's a lyric in there that I didn't look it up to see what it actually says, but it's like, it sounds like smells like cookies I don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I will lyrics because I actually thought that that's what it said too.
I listened to it a few times, like the song, and every time I was like, is that what they're saying? I can't tell, but I'm gonna let myself think so, and I'm not gonna Google it. It's just fun.
Oh wait, I need to know. It says you smell like cool kids I don't like. I also heard cookies though. I think that's really funny.
Cookies is
No,
better.
to be fair, I did also hear cookies when I listened to it the first time. I had to go back and listen again because my brain record scratched and was like, did they just say that?
You smell like cookies.
So can we take a quick vote? Majority rule. Can this go on our food playlist?
Oh yeah, that would be funny. I think it's a contender for sure. My favorite track from this album was Hurt So Good. I thought it was, I don't know, just something about it like really stuck out to me. I listened to it like 3 times in a row today.
I think it has like a blend. Like it starts one way and it kind of ends another way, and it's not the same genre the whole way through. It was a fun divide.
For sure. So if you haven't listened to Extraordinary Heroes, take it from us. 10 out of 10. Check them out.
10 out of 10.
It is really good.
Would recommend.
And if you like emo music, they did a cover of My Chemical Romance's Black Parade, and it's well worth the listen.
Definitely one of like the top K covers, I feel like, out there.
I had chills when I listened to it. Because again, the 16-year-old little emo girl that lives in my heart is like, My Chemical Romance, yay!
They're so good.
They're so good.
Also, before we move on, just a quick nod to My Chemical Romance. If anyone caught Hyunin Kai's outfit,
Where? When?
it was like a post yesterday. I'll send it to you if you didn't already see it. He's got like, he looks just like Jared Way. He's got like the blonde hair and the marching band jacket.
Oh, that's so funny.
And
He's
somebody like
blonde
linked
right
them
now,
side by
right?
side. Yeah.
Like a blonde Gerard.
So it was from their showcase, and it was just like channeling his inner Gerard.
I don't have a lot of upcoming releases on our list of things to look out for, but on 4/20, Cordis is going to be putting out a pre-release for their album Green Green with the track Red Red. I do wonder if the other titles are going to be Blue Blue and Yellow Yellow or what's happening.
I thought so, but I caught a sneak peek and I was grateful that it's not Roy G. Biv.
So that's April 20th. Also on April 20th, EP from NCT Wish is coming out called Ode to Love. And then at the end of the month, Islet is coming out with a song Ma Mel A Pina Tapai.
Can you say it
It's a
5 times fast?
mouthful. It is like a indigenous word. I looked it up, like what the meaning is. I should have taken notes on it.
I'm gonna Google quickly.
I love Islet, so I am excited. They did put out something small that just came out. Like they put out a Korean version of a song the other day that's also on my spring playlist because it's super lighthearted and fun.
Oh, this is sweet, actually. The album title originates from a South American Yagan language, describing a moment of unspoken mutual longing where both parties desire connection but hesitate to act. So it is like love-based.
Very Islet coded.
It's cute.
That's it for the recent and upcoming releases for this episode.
We did it! Like Tracy mentioned, check out the full rundown when we post on our Instagram and TikTok and let us know if we missed anyone you were hoping to see on our list.
All right, so now let's get into some K-pop updates. And today, Megan, you're kicking us off.
Yay! Okay, are you guys ready for K-pop Coachella? Because it's on its way to us. The big four of K-pop agencies, HYBE, JYP, SM, and YG Entertainment, are forming a joint venture to launch a global musical festival tentatively titled Phenomenon, combining the words fan for K-pop fans and phenomenon. Jury's still out on if that's going to stick as the name. This collaborative effort aims to create a world-class K-culture event on a scale that rivals or even surpasses major international festivals like Coachella. So take that, Coachella. My sleep paralysis demon himself, JY Poppy, is leading the charge. They are planning for a domestic debut in December of 2027, and if all goes well, they're hoping for a global expansion in May 2028. JY Poppy himself has told us that they're still working on ironing out the details, and we should expect to hear more down the line. So I wanted to ask you guys, what would you like to see from a festival like this? What, in your mind's eye, under the direction of JY Poppy himself, what does K-pop Coachella look like?
I'm so curious to see if it's going to be something like a Weavers Con where it's like one stage and they all just share and do like collabs with different artists, or if it truly is going to be like a Coachella Bonnaroo style festival where they have multiple different stages going on at one time. I'm so curious about this, to be honest. I think it's a cool idea. It seems so wild.
It really does. What about you, Tracy? In your mind's eye, under JY Poppy, what does K-pop Coachella look like to you?
I don't know, maybe like the Warped Tour or Bonnaroo of K-pop. Like multiple stages on style, but like, I don't know.
I feel like it would be tough if you're doing like a Warped Tour multi-stage, because then each of the big four, how do you schedule like your big name group that would be headlining for your company? Are you going to put Stray Kids on a stage up against BTS?
Well, so
I don't think BTS is going to be at K-pop Coachella.
Are you sure?
I don't think so. They're still going to be on tour, probably.
I mean, global expansion in May 2028, we might see them here in the States at K-pop
Maybe.
Coachella.
I feel like that would be a good way to, with multiple stages, put on a large artist and another company puts on like some of their up and coming. Maybe not all of your major artists all at one time, but you're plugging different ones with different genres or different whatever they have to offer at different times, just like a normal I guess, festival, like similar to what we've kind of grown up with and seen here. Like something for everyone at different times, and people buy tickets based on different things. Kind of like how KCON has it set up, right? Like there's ticketing for different levels if you want to do different stages and see different things.
That is true. KCON does technically have multiple stages during the day because they have their like artist stage, and then I can't remember what they call it, but they have a stage for like up and coming artists it's a smaller stage and they're expecting them to draw a smaller crowd.
Mhm.
And that was definitely the case at Warped Tour, right? There was like a small stage with maybe some local bands, and then the bigger stages in the morning had slightly bigger bands, and like as the night went on, the names kept getting bigger and bigger. So I wonder if it would be the same idea.
Yeah, I mean, I can see the big four at least wanting one of their big money makers there because they're going to be who really sells the tickets. I mean, look at Stray Kids coming to Gov Ball and how many tickets were sold just because Stray Kids is on the docket for Gov Ball.
I wonder if it would be like an outdoor venue kind of thing, like Coachella. I'm curious to see how that would go in Korea.
I think that would be a
In
great
December?
opportunity to do like a giant water bomb area, like a splash pad zone, like different things to draw in different people.
It's gonna be so cold.
Oh, not I mean in Korea, yeah, but if
Here, yeah.
yeah,
Here,
depending on like what season they choose.
Yeah.
I think probably summer, right? Like, there's a reason why we do summer festivals.
Yeah.
Have to be in the dead heat of summer, though. Spring is nice in the United
Spring
States in
is
certain
nice.
areas. The fall is wonderful, too.
Certain areas.
No,
but
instead we're
then
going to sweat to death, but it'll be worth it.
Yeah. I think
it depends.
there's just so many factors to why festivals go on in the summer.
Yeah, that's true.
You figure there's more availability. People come from everywhere in the world for like big, especially big names like Burning Man or Coachella. Like people come from everywhere. There's like lodging and flights and everything to factor in, and weather affects all of that. So it's definitely interesting.
Where do we think they're going to do it?
I could see it being like a Chicago or definitely not like a Woodstock thing, like upstate New York, but maybe I would feel like maybe LA or something. Yeah.
Riot Fest is in right? They did Chicago and Denver, I think. I did go one year to Riot Fest in Denver, and I think it was like four or five stages.
How was
And the
that
weather was
though?
pretty good. It was fine. It's cooler in Denver, I feel like, than a lot
Well,
of
you're in
the
mountains. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fine setup. I actually think something like that could probably work. The stages were like far enough away you couldn't really hear, but it was not like a big field. It was all paved.
I mean, that's how like when I went to Bamboozle, it was in a parking lot. Like there's multiple stages across this big expanse of asphalt.
Yeah.
And it was
That's
kind
how
of the
Warped
same.
Tour
Yeah.
was.
Between
Yeah,
all
way
the
back in the
tents
way
and
back when.
vendors.
My Warped Tour because I was a teenager in Florida, it was like in a field.
When I saw Warped Tour, it was in Englishtown, New Jersey, and it was like,
Oh, the racetrack?
felt like we were just on the asphalt of like an airstrip somewhere.
I didn't even think about the fact that it like might be different in different places.
Yeah, like it's because you figure the residential areas. But even like where was it? Is it Texas where you're going to see in Hypen? Is that like in the middle of like nowhere?
It's downtown Dallas. It's at the American Airlines arena. So I wouldn't say it's at the middle of nowhere.
Maybe I'm thinking of the Stray Kids clip where they're performing in this like it's like an aerial view of like an arena, but there's nothing around. It looks like for not miles, but like it's just like dark all around it. I think they were like near like an airport or something. I don't know.
I mean, there was the 2024 Lollapalooza performance, and like they had a lot of the apartment buildings and things like behind them had all their lights out, so you really couldn't see
Maybe.
much.
I don't know. It's an interesting topic for sure.
Are we
You
going?
guys think, yes, Stray Kids love a festival circuit, so, and you know, JY Poppy loves his moneymakers, so he will tell them, get up on that stage and make me money. Unless, cover your ears, listeners, unless the dreaded military service is happening during this time, they might have to miss out on the inaugural domestic debut, but they might be able to attend the global expansion. We'll see.
No, It's still a long ways
Do you
off.
guys think that any of the smaller companies would get involved? Do you think like KQ would be allowed to send ATs, or do you think it's going to be just for the big four?
I don't think it makes sense to do just like the biggest names. If you're going to offer tiered ticketing, you're going to offer different events, fan signs, whatever, it makes sense to populate it with different levels and like different artists.
I will say though, I also love that now we're talking about Big Four because Hybe did not used to be part of this conversation and now is fully, so it is interesting.
You can thank BTS
To
for that
say
one.
the Big Four is crazy, but there's so many child labels under these labels that I don't think you would be missing out on any like tiered level of artists. I think you would have from like Nugu to like mid-sized fan bases to the BTSs of the K-pop world with the four labels and their subsidiary. ATEEZ is like a special group, right? They were from a small label and
Hmm.
built it up like BTS. But I don't know. I think it just depends on contracting and how that goes. Like, do they care enough to get another company involved? Or is it easier to keep it to their subsidiaries? Because I'm sure that's a lot easier, like contractually.
True. But I will fight to get ATs there because, again, they are another group that's just born for the festival circuit. They're so good on a festival stage as they are playing huge sold out arenas. So I will join my fellow ATNE and my fellow STATNE, and we will get ATs there if we have to.
I will say too, Tease is the only concert I've been to where they had a warm-up act. I've never been to another K-pop concert where they had an opener, but when I went to Break the Wall, I can't even remember the name of the group, but they had like a training group perform before ATEEZ performed. And that's the
I
only
love
time I've
that.
ever seen that.
It seems like a lot of not K-pop artists are tend to do that. They tend to plug smaller artists that are up and coming. When I saw Youngblood, his touring opener was a group who had a decent small following on Instagram, and I think they were from Missouri or Mississippi, one of the southern states. And they were just so incredible. And I thought it was weird. Like TXT was my first K-pop concert. I thought it was weird, and I do still think it's weird that there isn't an opener. It just feels weird to pay money wise to pay that much to just get like one artist. Granted, they do longer sets. It just seems weird to me. I would like to see more.
That is true. The only time I saw like a rock group not have an opener was when I went to see Neutral Milk Hotel. I don't know what I would like think of an opener for that kind of show, but like rock shows always have like my husband pretty much exclusively listens to hardcore and it's always like the smaller, newer, younger groups who play first and then like the more established group who plays last. And there's always like 3 to 8 of them. And it's a good way for newer groups to grow their fan base. I just don't think K-pop thinks of like growing their fan base in the same way. I think that could change just thinking of it coming to the US though.
I feel like they rely, I don't want to say too much, but very heavily on social media and the constant posting and the constant overworking. And I feel like if they were to include openers, it would alleviate a lot of that. They wouldn't have to push so hard. And I would like to see that. I think that's like, as somebody who is so new to K pop, I think that's a change that I would like to see.
And it would be fun to go to like an all-day K-pop festival. Like I love listening to smaller groups, so I think that that would be like a cool way to start the festival and then you end with your big hitting names. That would be fun.
I also like honorable mention to Govball, like Stray Kids is performing. I don't know any other group on that lineup besides them. And like my K-pop knowledge is not that broad. So that's kind of crazy. I
But they're
just
the only like K-pop group playing that day.
not that specifically, but just out of all of the artists for the entire lineup of Govball, all 3 days, they're the only artists that I know.
That's funny.
So it's weird. It makes sense to have a very, just K-pop festival. That way they're not like the outliers, because I feel like Golf Ball probably just made record profit because of Stray Kids being there.
100%.
I know I got the alert tonight about the tickets going up in price as of today,
Yeah.
but everything's already waitlisted. They sold out of all the VIP. Everything else is just waitlisted, and they're doubling the pricing. So I'm like, what's the point?
Stays took over GovBall.
It's insane.
insane, and it's going to be so insane the amount of stays we're going to see walking around GovBall.
And so again, if you see us there, come say hi also.
We will definitely be posting on social media to when we're at GovBall, like where we're at.
I will be the one covered in Bokaris.
Can I make you a suit where you can clip them all onto?
I'm not bringing all of my chicken nuggets.
That would be so fun. I'm just going to make you a yellow duck suit.
But yes, K-pop Coachella is in the pipeline. JY Poppy himself at the helm. This is something I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on to see how it grows and how it changes between now with all of the talks that the Big Four are in. Hopefully by like maybe the end of 2026, we'll start getting some more finalized news about it, since they're looking for a 2027 domestic debut.
I'm excited to see what kind of food they're going to have. I think that's going to be a cool thing. Like, it can't just be normal festival hot dogs and like whatever they sell now these days.
Catch us at the food stand at Phenomenon USA.
Here for it.
That's actually like exciting. I know it's still a long ways off, but I think that this is one of the most fun things we've heard about lately.
I'd rather do that than like another trip to Disney. I think that would be awesome.
All right. So I will go next. This week, in lieu of news, I wanted to do a deeper dive into a debut that I've been so excited for. If you've been listening to other episodes of our podcast, you know that I have been keeping up with Modesty, and they finally debuted on April 13th, 2026. They came out with their first debut album, Got Hooked, an Addictive Symphony. So they were definitely building up their following through shows like Boys to Planet and Planet C Home Race, and the 7 members of this C/K-pop group are finally stepping into the spotlight. So far, they definitely have a strong concept and seem really polished for a debut group, and there's a lot of momentum behind them. So I feel like the Modesty debut feels like something really big, not just because I'm biased. Traci watched Boys to Planet with me and then watched Planet C Home Race, so we have been following this group for a while now. It's been a long time coming. Planet C Home Race, the show that formed this group, it was a spin-off show of Boys to Planet, taking Chinese contestants who didn't make the final debut and end up in Alpha Drive 1. So all of the members are from China, and they're under the One Seed label, which is a collab between CJENM, JYP China, and Tencent Music. Since this group is a Chinese group, they don't put them in age order traditionally like a K-pop group would be. They put them in their ranked order from the show,
which is crazy.
It's definitely different, but it works out that the member who got first place on the show is their leader. So Sun Hengyu, he got first place. He's the leader of Modesty. His official position is the center, and he is an amazing vocalist. He is so good singing live. He's like the belter of the group for sure. He actually had already debuted. First, he debuted in Blanky, which is a group that came out and disbanded pretty shortly after due to unfortunate controversy involving another member. And then he re-debuted in DVOL, which also disbanded. As far as I could tell, it's not that they disbanded after anything in particular, just it was a project that kind of fizzled out. And so I love Hengyu, and I hope that this is his like forever group. third time's a charm. Let them be together for a long time. The second member is the maknae, Fanzi. He got second place in the show. His official position is the visual, which I love. Uh, His prior experience before becoming an idol and going on to Boys to Planet was that he was an influencer on Chinese social media. Third rank in the show was Tracy's one pick from Planet C home race, Lazy How. It doesn't have an official position listed, but he's definitely a rapper.
Mood
If you
maker,
yeah, mood
mood
maker for
eater,
sure.
God helper,
Mood eater.
mood eater.
And he's just like a great all-rounder.
He's just so fun.
So fun. He is really funny and like honest. I feel like in K-pop we don't always get like a lot of authenticity, but there've definitely been a lot of moments where he's been able to show his like vulnerability and authenticity.
Because when he cried and he thought he was ugly, and I just wanted to punch everyone in the world in the face and be like, how
I
dare you make this poor boy
know.
feel this way?
Yeah, in Boys to Planet, they did a segment where he ended up talking about how he is like insecure about his looks, and I cried. I like ugly cried.
I did.
But he is a former member of Boy Story, which was a JYP China group with Alpha Drive One's Shinlong. And both of them ended up getting position 3 in their survival shows. So I thought that that was like a super serendipitous kind of thing. And I'm so happy he's finally re-debuted and is still under JYP China, technically. The fourth member is Lin Lin. He again has his position listed as a visual, but he's also a really good dancer. He was also on Project 7, and after watching him in 3 survival shows, I love his attitude. Just as like someone who stays really positive, and I love that. And Suren is my modesty bias, and he was my one pick in home race, and his position is their main dancer. He is also a backup dancer for a lot of artists, including P1 Harmony. So he has a lot of dancing experience, and you can definitely tell. And then something I think is awesome. This is probably the last idol to debut with their birth year starting with a 19. Because Yi Chen, the oldest member, was born in 1998, and he is the fake maknae. You would never know from watching their content that he's he's not old, what he's 28 or whatever, but like he acts like he's like 17. It's really funny. And then the seventh member is Rowan. He was also on Starlight Boys before he was on Boys to Planet. And if you didn't watch Planet C, the way that this group was formed, basically, the more people who ended up voting in the final vote, the more members the group had. And enough people voted to make it a 7-member group. So thank you to everyone who voted in Planet C because I love Rowan. He's become my bias wrecker, and I think it would be really sad if he didn't make the cut.
I just remember how shocked we both were when we were like, what do you mean? They said 6. What do you mean they're 7? What?
Yeah, the final episode for Planet C was crazy because
My God.
we learned that there were going to be more members than we thought there were going to be, but not as many as there could have been because if more people voted, there would have been 8. And I'm pretty sure there were only like 13 contestants on the show, so.
At least they didn't have to pick a top 12.
But in that final episode, it was also announced that 3 Racho was going to be producing their debut song. So if you don't know, 3 Racha is the producing group from Stray Kids, and they were not shown or mentioned anywhere in the show. Planet C, and it was very briefly mentioned in the final that they would be producing their debut song, which I thought was crazy because Stray Kids is such a huge group that you would have thought that would have been like shouted from the rooftops over and over again. But it was kept like pretty under wraps, I feel like. Even trying to get content on the process of them producing has been super minimal. I know Megan, as our resident stay, also listened to this song. And it is so funny because you could tell me that this was a Stray Kids song and they just like did a cover of it and I would not have been surprised.
I have 2 fun facts regarding the song and regarding Three Racha and their involvement in the song. First fun fact is if you look at how Three Racha is credited, they are not credited as Bangchan, Changbin, and Han. They are credited as literal Three Racha, CB97, J1, and Spear B, which kudos to them for separating Three Racha as Stray Kids idols and Three Racha, the producing group. I thought that was so cool. Stay lost their ever loving minds when they found out that the credits were under their Three Racha name. So cool. Second fun fact, the maknae of Stray Kids, Ayana, our baby bread, apparently told Modesty that Stray Kids was originally going to use Hook on one of their comeback albums and then decided that it would be a better fit for them. And I couldn't be happier that they gave it to Modesty because they killed it. They really did. They killed that song. It's so catchy and it gets stuck in my head every time I listen to it.
I think it suits them so well too. I love the music video, but even more so, I really like the studio tune performance that they did. I hear Stray Kids when I listen to the song, like you can hear how it could have been
Yeah.
distributed out for them. But when you watch the performance of this, it fits Modesty so well. Like there are parts of it that I try to picture like what Stray Kids member would have done this, and I can't see it. I can hear it. My favorite part of the choreo is there's a part where Zihao like reels in the members and they all kind of like jump towards him. And I was like, I don't know if anyone but Zihao could pull this off in the same way. I just am so impressed with how intentional and polished this release seems to be. I do think it's interesting that they are a C-pop group and their debut song was in Korean. I actually like the Chinese version more. Like that's the one that I've been streaming, but I'm really curious to see because right now in their contents, it's a pretty like funny mix. They will try to start speaking in Korean and then they switch to Chinese. So shout out to their translators for translating in so many languages because at any given time it's like translated into Chinese, Korean, and English.
Incredible.
Did you guys listen to the EP or just Hook?
Just the song. I only
Okay.
listened to the song so far.
There's only one other track on this album, and it was Revenant, which is a song that was performed on the finale of Planet C Home Race.
But that's where they came out, right? With like the animal.
Yeah, we did get to vote for Revenant, so I do love that it was a fan voted for song. I do wish they did Sailing, which was that really beautiful song they did on the finale. They did like a slower song. I will link the video for it because it was like one of those survival show stages that just like give you chills. But I think that for a debut, it was really, really polished, like I mentioned. I hope that we get either another single or an EP or something like that to come out from them soon. I am curious to see if there will be more collabs with JYPE groups since they are under a new JYP label. They will be at KCON Japan coming up in May, so that is exciting for them. And as far as like content goes, if you like idol shows like Run BTS and O'Clock, To Do, etc., I would say start with Say Say Say. It's hands down the most chaotic idol content I've ever watched.
They're just so wild.
They don't care about their idol image at all. They are just chaotic and like, yeah, truly wild people. That was probably the thing I was most excited for, and I'm so glad that it is such a fun song.
It's so funky too. Just like bop
Yeah,
around to
Traci
it.
really pulled it out with this because it's really fun to listen to, and I love all of the different like styles of the song. Speaking of it, I just got a notification that the Modesty albums I ordered are now on their way.
Yay!
They shipped while we were recording.
You're gonna have to do an unboxing for the fans.
For sure.
I do really love like how streamlined everything's come together for them. They deserved it. They all worked so hard to get where they are. It shows, and yay for them, dude. I'm sad that we're not getting them here at KCON, but we'll be there in spirit.
All right, Tracy, you are going to be closing out the segment with us this week, so take it away.
So this week, I want to make an amendment and follow up on my previous news story where I talked about the Style Creator War show. We have an official air date for it, and we have a bit more context of what it's actually going to be about and what they're looking for. So this will be debuting in Korea on May 12th at 10:10 p.m. their time. I don't know still if we're going to get it here anywhere, and we'll update when and if we do, because I'm still looking forward to it. I know that initially I think everybody was under the impression that we were looking to kind of have an outcome where they found an iconic fashion designer, and that seemed to be the end goal at that point. But it looks like as more information's come out, they're actually trying to find somebody that not only will be like designing the hats, but wearing multiple hats as well. So somebody that's like well-rounded with a social media following. So it seems like they're looking for more of like a super influencer, somebody that has a broader outreach and can not just put together fashion, but communicate it and like lead the trends and kind of not just be just an influencer or just a designer, but like a collaborative all-around figure to put this out. I'm interested though. I think it's going to be something different, but I know that they did confirm that there are 100 contestants. So that's pretty much on par with what we've been seeing with survival shows in this region. I will not be voting though if there's voting regularly. Definitely not. Can't keep up with all of it. My big news story this week is talking about All In. I know we mentioned his release before, but I've kind of been like following along for a little while, and I've been so excited about this. So he's a soloist with an extensive background, and he debuted this week on April 15th with his single We Up. I haven't stopped listening to it. I've been listening to it a bunch of times every day, and it just keeps getting better and better. He did perform this live on April 16th on Mnet Live, episode 924. And then he also, today, the 17th, performed on Music Bank. So that's like a lot, I feel like, off the rip. Like, that's a lot going on. But you can catch both performances on both his YouTube channel, the Mnet app, and YouTube, and the KBS channel for the Music Bank performance. So he's a bit interesting. Firstly, he's self-produced. He debuted under his own music label and agency, SKS Entertainment. I don't know if you guys have looked at the website for this. He's listed as the CEO and their first artist. And it seems like he's looking to really build up that portfolio and like add to that, which I'm excited for. I think it's cool, but it highlights his mission statement is like, it's not just like a preset aesthetic he's going for, like a preset style, kind of like in his own nature, how he focuses on the violin, like he builds his music around that, and that's like what he does. But it looks like bringing in other artists, he wants to focus on their special skills too, and not just like the normal for the industry. So I think that's really cool. I'm curious what other artists will be joining him. He also doesn't just play violin though. He is like a full band's worth of talent. He sings, he raps, he dances, he plays the guitar, piano, drums, and I think there's like something else that he plays that I'm missing. But it's kind of crazy. Like, that's a lot going on. That's a lot of talent. I think he didn't start playing until he was like 9 years old. That's kind of a little bit late to start.
Especially for classical music.
And if you've listened at all, like how actually talented he is, like that skill set is just, it's mind-blowing to me. I'm like, how do your hands do that? How does your brain keep up? How are you also singing at the same time? Like, I can't eat and like walk at the same time. That's insane. But he was formerly part of a Chinese training group called Haitang, which I can't really find too much information about. So I don't really know how far that went or like what all activities they had. But he was also on the second season of Idol Producer. It was called Youth with You. It was a 2019 Chinese male survival show that's also on the IQIYI network. But it looks like he wasn't eliminated. He actually left on his own. So like it looks like he had a C ranking and then he got bumped up to an A ranking and then he decided to leave the show.
Do you want to know something funny?
I would love.
Chen from Modesty was on the same season of Youth with You.
That's crazy.
Isn't that funny? I had been looking up the show earlier when I saw that Yi-chan was on it because he's been on a bunch of survival shows. I love that they were on it at the same time.
I wonder like what their interactions were like. I'm kind of curious and interested to go back and watch it, but I'm gonna work through Protos 101 first before I add anything else to my plate. I need to focus on that. But I thought that was interesting. Like he's listed as retired from it and not eliminated. That's an interesting choice. I'm wondering what propelled him to leave. But outside of that, like he's won championships for the violin. He's served as an orchestra conductor. He's participated in various other ensembles. I know he highlights that he works out. That's like a big thing for him. He has like his big 3 charms. So his arms, like his physique is like one of them, his skills as a composer, and then I put it as like a balanced altruist, but he like notes that he takes care of himself as well as other people without like putting one before the other either way, which is not easy to do. Like I feel like there's always more eggs in one basket than the other. So I don't know. Outside of this, he was involved in a tech company, which was crazy. They're based in Africa, like in the Congo. So that's like a wild place to be, it was a sibling started startup. So it's like crypto tech based, but super interesting, super wild. He's lived in the US, he studied in the US, he's from Busan, and he also lived in Africa, and he speaks 3 different languages. He's Chinese. So he speaks Mandarin, Korean, and yeah. So
He went to NYU.
I couldn't find any clear information on his schooling, like his actual education, so I didn't want to speculate.
It was on his like fan wiki. When you sent me this release, I checked it out, and if you guys don't know, I am a classical musician. I've played cello since I was like 8 years old and have competed and trained for a really long time. So whenever like strings are involved in something, it always piques my interest. And so when I heard the song, I immediately started like deep diving into this guy. And the more I found out, the more interested I was.
It's amazing. I'm like, where did you come from and who are you?
There is nowhere that like lists his birth year or
No, I did
we don't
see.
did
I
you find
found.
an actual age?
This is like what's so hard with it not coming directly from somebody. It's like how much of it is true. I don't like to speculate. It did list 1994, so he's 31. But to be
I was gonna
so
say.
accomplished at 31, like wow.
Yeah, I saw it was like speculated he was in his early 30s. He went to NYU. He started or was part of a tech company. He is a CEO. It's just like, oh my God, entrepreneur, like the American dream in Korea.
So for real, there's a video on YouTube. I'll send it to you guys if you're interested, where there was like a seminar for like a couple of tech companies, and he was a keynote speaker, and he had led with a violin performance. But he starts off with this like the off-key Titanic kind of like, it's just like a terrible like bad music. But he starts off with like a violin rendition way off key for Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And then he goes into this insane, intricate like performance, but there's like other people who performed as well, so it was interesting to watch.
He seems like an enigma.
Yes.
You know, like he just seems like unreal.
I'm getting like an Amadeus Wolfgang vibe, like he might be like a creative genius but also like a psychopath, like I don't know, there's a lot going on, not in a bad way, but like it's so much. It's so cool. I'm so interested to see what's next for him, like how this progresses, how his label grows, what kind of artist he's bringing in. I feel like he has the mindset and it seems like the tools to be successful with this. I also love that his fan base is called Encore, which in line with his stage name, LL''N, they're N''Core. And it's super clever. It's so fun. It's so different. And I just like the departure from just vocals and dancing to incorporate live instruments while you're performing. That is not easy. I played violin when I was like in 2nd and 3rd grade, and being on stage was way too much for me. I literally got kicked out of violin and piano because I couldn't do like the onstage performances. I just don't have the nerves for it, and I wish I had stuck with it because every time I see somebody like this, I just get jealous and I'm like, man, I gave my violin to my brother a few years ago and I just like wish I didn't do that.
It's funny. I think just like since I am so involved with classical music, I do think I might look at it with a bit of a more critical lens. And I have been involved in projects that blended classical instruments and non-classical like music genres. I have seen so many projects like this start and just have a hard time continuing, like having a hard time keeping it fresh. And I think it's so funny that he's like, it's like a one-man show, it seems like. I wonder if he has like producers and social media managers and stuff like that.
So, from what I was seeing, the choreography was actually developed by people who have done choreography for BTS. It looks like the producers for his music video and everything are involved with like Produce 101, like bigger names like behind like the production of it all. But for it to be like self-produced more or less is like he's pretty big on his social media. He's actually really responsive too when you comment and like interact, which is neat. So I wonder if like I know he wants to, it's actually also part of the mission statement on his like website, is like involving the fans more and not just having them just like ancillary to the project, being involved and like, you know, in it with him. And I feel like that's, as far as like developing this like more and more music as an artist, like using the feedback and things from people. So who knows, but I feel like that's cool.
It's definitely a really cool concept.
I'm
Nothing like
hopeful.
I've seen before.
It's different, it's new, it's a big leap from the norm, and I'm very hopeful for him. So fingers crossed. Because I was like, again, just so excited. Like that's just downplaying it. But I was like, what do you mean? Yeah.
We will also definitely link his music video in the description so you can check out All In. Support him because I think it's always so exciting to see like new things happening.
Yeah, especially like being a one-man show, he's gonna need the support, I think, if he's gonna really pull this off long term.
That's awesome.
Maybe he'll make an appearance at Coachella.
Time to start writing emails to JY Poppy to include All In.
I'm here for it. Writing letters to his to SKS Entertainment. Let's go.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll link the email below. Go ahead.
Go ahead. All right, let's get into our rapid fire for this week. I hope you guys think this is fun. So if we're not busy enough, we are also launching a brand new K-pop variety show, and our first guests are arriving tomorrow. So we have nothing planned, and we each have to pitch one segment for the show right now. So Megan, you're up first. What are you adding to the show?
And I've been watching so much variety content lately too. I want something in the vein of the Skiz family that Stray Kids put together. I want the members of which idol group is going to be our first guests. I want them to each pick characters. I want someone to sit around just going, I'm 5, and have multiple people having affairs with each other and trying to figure out the really messed up family tree. Give me that. Give me some like weird, like Skiz family-esque segment in a variety show where it's just completely comedic. The characters are outrageous and hilarity ensues.
I love that. I love the skit part of that. I don't know why more groups don't do things like that because it's so entertaining. Tracy, do you have a pitch for a segment for our new variety show?
2.
Okay.
Murder mystery dinner,
Ooh.
hot wings style, or an escape room.
An escape room would be fun. It makes me think of, I know like idol groups have done it when they go to the haunted,
The haunted house.
yeah, like the haunted
Yes.
house stuff.
So fun.
So funny. But it would be funny to like actually have to watch them like try to figure out an escape room.
To blend it into a murder mystery escape room
I was gonna
with
say,
hot
like, what do
wings.
you mean that like Hot Ones? Like the show Hot Ones?
Yeah. It's like a murder mystery dinner, but like they're eating hot wings and not like other
I
foods.
see.
Increasingly, the more worse you do, the more wrong answers you get, the hotter the sauce.
So they're eating super spicy wings and having to guess who the killer is.
Yes.
That's funny. So the segment that I'm pitching is a Cutthroat Kitchen style segment where idols they each need to make a certain food, but instead of like the typical sabotages, there's a random dance play style challenge, and if they don't know to the choreo for the song that starts playing, they either get something taken away or get a sabotage thrown at them. So I think that would be fun.
Would be really fun.
So, if you're listening and you have an idea that would make a fun segment on a variety show, we would love to hear it. And if you're from a company who makes said variety shows, back up. These are our ideas.
No, you can use them. Just plug us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have us on the episode as like an opposing team, perhaps.
If you're trying to steal one of our ideas, you have to hit us up first.
At least give us tickets to sit in the audience. That's all. That's all.
There you go. Yeah, we can be flies on the wall. I like your answers. I really actually want to see idols doing a murder mystery dinner now.
I feel like there's usually enough members in a group to make it happen, and like, how chaotic would that be?
That would be so fun.
I know ATEEZ did kind of like a murder mystery, not like a dinner, but they did like a whole murder mystery during like the Lemon Drop era. And that was like really, really funny to watch.
I feel like more of that. It's just like, it's fun, it's interactive, it's different.
Yeah, well, speaking of interactive, the family skits are super interactive and they can go on for a really long time. Maybe we
Valid.
combine them. It's a murder in the family.
One of these days, Tracy, I'll sit you down and I'll show you the Skiz family, Skiz Code episodes because they are just hysterical.
Link them, send them to me. Link your favorite one.
I have a playlist that somebody put together of all of them in order. There's about like I think four or five of them.
That's not too bad.
It's like my favorite Stray Kids content.
I haven't actually ever
Yeah.
watched any of their content, to be
Like of their
fair.
shows.
Whatever comes up on Instagram is as far as I've gotten.
Yeah, no, Skiz family is so funny. I'll send you the playlist because it's just chaos
All right.
in true Stray Kids fashion.
So stay tuned for 2028, where we are rolling out our murder mystery Cutthroat Kitchen style family skit show.
Ooh.
We'll debut it at K-Cello when it comes to the US.
Exactly. Really quickly before we close out this episode, we want to take a moment to shout out the winner of our recent Ariran giveaway.
Congratulations again to Isui C. We're so happy you're following along to the podcast and hope you love the album as much as we do.
If you want to join any future giveaways, make sure to follow us on Instagram.
Definitely keep your eyes peeled for our next giveaway announcement at Bias Bites Pod. Thank you so much again to everyone who participated and all the Bias Biters who entered and keep following with us.
Well, guys, that's going to bring us to the end of today's episode. So thank you so much for listening to this episode of Bias Bites. If you want to keep up with us or let us know your opinions on anything we talked about today, you can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Bias Bites Pod.
Feel free to email us at hello@biasbitespod.com if you have any thoughts, hot takes, topics you want us to cover, recommendations for music you want us to listen to or plug. We're here for all of it.
Keep an eye out for the next installment of Survival Bites, our new series where Tracy and Morgan are reacting to all the chaos of Produce 101 Japan Shinsekai.
And don't forget to rate, review, and follow the podcast wherever you're listening. It really helps us out. We'll catch you next time. This has been
Bias Bites.
Bias Bites.